Good morning. This is Bob speaking to you from my farm at in the Annapolis Valley of Nova Scotia. This is part 2 of my Bluenose build, and if you watched part 1, you'll remember that I said that I was going to come back with part 2 and work on the sanding of the bulkheads and the spline, and also to put the filler blocks in. Now the filler blocks are for the stern here and the bow up here. One thing you have to remember about this, and I really got caught with it, there's a left and a right to these filler blocks. If you're not careful when you put your patterns on, you'll make two lefts or two rights, and you have to do one over again, so you end up making 3 for each one. Just keep that in mind. They are the same on each side, but they're like mirror images of each other. So I just want to show you what it's going to look like right now. This is the first step in the way I think a filler block should be made. I had some white spruce that was pretty clear, so I decided that I would use it this morning and cut my blocks, my filler blocks out of a piece of square wood. So I'm going to try to put this back together again for you. Yeah, there's my piece of square wood there, and I drew the top profile here, that line right there, and I put the side profile on there. I cut out the top profile, the top profile here first. So it of course came off, and that meant that I didn't have a flat surface to do the other one. So I had to glue it back on again with the hot glue. It worked very well. You see, you can put it all back together again, and I think I can. I probably can't now, but anyway, you see what I mean there by having to cut out both profiles at the same time. That one's not going to go together at all. But this is what you end up with after you take your little bits and pieces off. Now it's square, and of course the Bluenose isn't square in the back, so this is by no means done. But this is a good start to getting the proper shape. I was a little worried about that slant there. You know, I thought, holy cow, is the transom on the Bluenose that slanted? And I looked at a whole lot of pictures, and by gosh, it is. So here's what I'm going to do right now. I got my hot glue gun there heating up, and as you know, I've always said hot glue really doesn't work all that well, but it will work well enough that I can put that filler block right in there, push it quite hard against this first bulkhead, and it will act as a stiffener as well for that bulkhead once I get it all nicely carved out. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to put that in there for you, and you just use 2 dabs. You got to make sure you put those dabs in the right place. There we go, right there and there. Boy, once you put those in, you better make doggone sure that you've got it where you want it, because you know, for a little while, I've got the hair there from the hot glue, but you can see that it's going to stay there. So now all I have to do is take up my carving gear. I've got quite a bit of carving equipment, and round that all off nicely so that you get a nice flow this way, you get a nice flow coming down this way. Then I put the other one on this side after I cut it out again because I've got 2 left-hand pieces there. I'm going to glue it on, round the whole thing off so that the flow is nice. Now I'll have to put a batten on there to make sure that I've got it, but just putting my eyeball down there that looks pretty good right now. So I'm going to have to go to my shop and recut that stern filler block so it fits the right hand side of the boat, and I'll come back. Okay, I'm back here. This will be the last bit for today. I think I did what I said I was going to do. Unfortunately, through most of the first little bit, the boat wasn't even in the shot. For goodness sake, I didn't really check it very carefully. But I got the blocks in. You notice that they're square, and they're not supposed to be. I haven't carved them yet. I will do that before I come back again, so that you can see the, I don't know, kind of the roundness. I think I'll leave it round on the bottom. They left it to my discretion according to the directions. So, that's what I'll do. I'll round it off. I also had my little Fordham tool, like a little Dremel, and I put a bevel on these bulkheads so that when I lay the planks on, there'll be more glue space. I guess I didn't in the middle. This one is sloped down this way. Very easy to do with the Fordham, just zap zap and it's all done. So still a little bit of sanding to do here, and I'm going to use a batten to try to make sure that everything is copacetic before I come back again. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.